job. And they can like rely on me maybe.
Anything else?
No.
Alright, and then what alternative behaviors could you have had to being irritated and kind of muddling things under your breath that could have been more helpful to?
Maybe I could just like be more clear and assertive.
And what would that look like to you? Being assertive?
I don't know, maybe like talking to the person, like the head person about like scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making like a clear schedule of like how many days I'd like to work and what kind of hours.
Alright, so then going back to the other alternative thought that you had, which was the original, which was them not respecting you and you getting the short end of the stick because you're kind of the newbie of the group, so that's kind of the, how to say, the unfortunate truth of kind of what happens at places that interns and newbies get the short end of the stick. So what alternative thoughts could you have had to that? That you're getting the short end of the stick?
Maybe like I have to work my way up. And like it's an opportunity to like learn procedures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And learning how to, I guess, be more flexible.
Alright, so then the original behavior that you said that you wanted to work on was not being as present as you know that you could be in that situation and wanting to be more mindful. So what alternative behaviors that you could do to kind of increase those to occur?
I think like maybe instead of like ruminating on those thoughts, I can kind of just like, let it go, take a couple minutes to like clear my head without, ruminating, just like be more just like blank and like relax and just like let it roll off my shoulders, I think.
Do you have any like specific ideas of how to do that? Of like mindfulness strategies or techniques?
I think just like a quick breathing, deep breaths are usually like work pretty good for me. And just like allowing thoughts to float through rather than stick around.
Alright, so just kind of noticing the thoughts come, but also allowing them to go at the same time. One thing I like to do is kind of picture that on like a conveyor belt, or like the luggage conveyor belt, where the luggage is that negative thought, and then next thing you know, it's kind of behind that screen that nobody really knows what's on the other side of that wall. Everybody wants to know, but it's regardless. You don't see it again until it comes back around, but next thing you know, it's back down that black hole.
Yeah.
So that's just what I like to do
That's
for
helpful.
that. Alright, so let's quickly look over this and conclude about what we did. So again, this was the CBASP intervention thing. The situation that you talked about, which was work and it being problematic for you. And then kind of the overall thoughts of the situation is that you're feeling taken advantage of and you're getting the short end of the stick, right? And you find yourself isolating from the situation, kind of being irritable and upset. And ruminating with all of that kind of just perpetuates the issues. So what you really want for them to do is kind of respect your per diem status, part-time employee, and then also kind of be more present and mindful at the same time, and have them respect those boundaries so you can be more effective counselor, right?
Yes.
Alright, so we tried the replacement ideas of how to replace certain thoughts, and you came up with some really good ones about you're doing a really good job and that they can rely on you, which is kind of what you showed them, and I could agree that would be a helpful thought. And then the other interpretation is that you need to work your way up, but it's also opportunity to learn and be more flexible, right? And then the alternative behaviors was to be more clear and assertive and draw those boundaries, but also at the same time eliminate the rumination and try deep breathing exercises so you can be a more effective counselor, right?
Yes.
So overall, how likely do you think you are to really try these alternative behaviors?
I
Like
think
a scale of 1 to 10.
maybe like a 6 or 7.
So 6 or 7, what do you think it would take you to get to maybe like an 8 or 9?
I think just like practice.
So practice these like on your own, or role playing with somebody,
I think both would be helpful.
or like partial exposure to a situation.
I don't know about that one yet.
Maybe you can work your way up to that.
Yeah.
Alright, so overall, thank you for doing this and going through the steps. Hope it wasn't too unbearable for you. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Are you gonna add that in the video?
Yeah.
Should I add this?